love, 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 love. Make love my joy.
I make love my joy.
I make joy my joy.
I make joy my joy.
I make peace my joy.
I make peace my
I
choice.
make peace my joy.
I make peace my choice.
Peace. Today, choosing peace. This picture is the stained glass window in the Peace Chapel, which is my favorite place at Unity Village in Missouri. It's a beautiful little chapel, and I always sit in the first chair on the left, which I understand was Myrtle Fillmore's favorite chair. So, aside from all of that, this is the season of peace and nonviolence. It actually starts on January 30th, but that's just a piece and goes up to April 21st. But tomorrow is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And Mahatma Gandhi, these two men who have established for us an example of how far we can go with nonviolence and peace. And it is a choice. I'm turning to the wisdom of Martha Smock, a wise woman. She was the head of Silent Unity for many years. Unfortunately, I didn't meet her, but I love her books. She says, peace of mind is not something you achieve when everything is perfect, when things have been worked out happily. Peace of mind is something that oftentimes precedes the solving of the problem. So peace is, by this wisdom, peace isn't the end, it's the beginning, which means it's a choice. Now, what does this mean? Life happens. We have lots of experience in our life. And those experiences sometimes are filled with joy and love and things happening right in sync. There's also hardship. There's those times in life where there's a diagnosis, or there's difficulty with family members, or spouse just doesn't understand you. Ever experienced those? Of course. We're human. It's part of the journey. We get the whole picture. We don't just get a little piece. Peace of mind is a choice. It's taking a breath when hardship shows its face. It's opening ourselves to that deep connection we have right now and allowing God to be our source. Is there any other source in the world? God is our only source. So when we choose to just be present to that, that's a choice for peace. Now, from Scripture, 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, it says, put things in order. Listen to my appeal. Agree with one another. Live in peace. And the God of love and peace will be with you. So if we're living peacefully, that doesn't mean there's not going to be discord. That doesn't mean that we're going to agree on everything. It just means as we're navigating our way to compromise or to concession or to agreement, we're doing it peacefully. We're breathing deeply. We're listening. We're forgiving. We're open. Does this make sense? Then why don't we do it? It's easy. It really is a simple process. And yet, I forget all the time. Not when it's all gravy and wonderful and life is just juicy good. It's those difficult times where I stop breathing. For one, how long can I go by stop breathing? Not very far. What an intelligent choice. I think I'll just stop breathing. We do this out of fear, and I think it's just familiar. God is love. And in that love, we can connect with it. And if we focus on that loving presence of the divine, what are we going to experience? Love. It's going to be our experience because what we think, what we say creates our experience. So if we don't like what's going on, change your thinking. And choosing love is a great choice. So, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a fine man. And we've all remembered the wonderful presence that he brought forth in the world. Don't think there's anyone in here that's old enough that they wouldn't remember, or at least read about it. He has written much about it, spoken much about it, and he says here, nonviolence means avoiding not only external physical violence, but also internal violence of spirit. You not only refuse to shoot a man, but you refuse to hate him because the thoughts are powerful. Nonviolence, of course, we're not going to shoot or hit or any violence to any other person. That's choosing peace. But we need to also alter the storms within our own heart. The imbalance, the resentments, the hurts, the assumptions, the prejudice, the criticism, and the judgment does not go in line with our choosing peace. It doesn't go in line with being nonviolent. It is a blessing when we have an opportunity to practice peace. When a situation, a conversation, or a hardship comes up, and we can breathe, and we can go, I'm going to relax here for a moment. You might even say out loud, I need a moment. We can all take a time out. And as I breathe and collect myself, I might say, tell me more. I'm interested. Tell me more. And there we begin to listen. We begin to open. We begin to change the very relationship before us. It could be a relationship that we've had discord, or we just don't agree on some things. That doesn't mean we can't bring that into the space of honoring. Because let's face it, every single one of us human beings is doing the best with what we have. We're living life to the best we can. We're opening to our inspiration the best we can. And we're dealing with whatever we've been taught the best we can. So if we have that attitude to someone we have a disagreement with, at least we give them a longer leash. And that's choosing peace. The Mahatma Gandhi, gosh, I love Gandhi. He wrote so much. And in that, he brings his wisdom to our common age. And here he says, we may never be strong enough to be entirely nonviolent in thought, word, and deed. But we must keep nonviolence as our goal and make strong progress towards it. Thank you. Because we're human beings and we're not striving for perfection in this. But as we practice our daily prayer and meditation, and we practice that every day, when hardship knocks, we have a moment. There's like a beat where we can choose. Choose peace, choose nonviolence, choose love, or choose to be right, or choose to dive in and begin the fight. Now, I agree. There are times when I choose to just dive in and be in the fight because I know I'm right. Eventually, I still have to wake up to maybe there isn't a right in this way. It's just my way and your way. And we don't agree. But do we need to hit each other for it? No. But as we choose to make peace and nonviolence a goal, a spiritual goal for living our life, one, we're going to be bringing that into our oneness with God and each other. And two, we're going to have progress. It is going to get better. We'll be less excited into anger. We're more open to concession, willingness to listen and forgive. It works. So choosing peace is a spiritual path. And I close this talk with this from Dr. Martin Luther King as well. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Does anyone have an example of this in their life? Okay, I have an example. In high school, I was bullied by some of my peers. And there was one guy who knew exactly what buttons to push to make me feel miserable. And at my 10-year high school reunion, I went up to this man and we talked like real people. And what came up for me was a memory of when we were very young. We were playing softball, and he came up to me and said, "Can I show you how to hold the bat?" I don't know, I was kind of holding it up here. He got my hands onto the bat, and when I swing, I hit the ball and had the most success I ever had playing softball. So I was able to relate to him, not, you bullied me when I was young, but you really did something quite wonderful for me. Now, in that moment, at that dinner, this person who I had always identified in my heart as the enemy, he was an enemy, turned into a friend that I could truly be grateful for. So there are opportunities in our life where presently we can listen, we can open our heart and see what their life is going through and see what our life is going through and maybe shift that criticism, that judgment, allowing them to at least be someone we can be in the same room with. Sound good? So I've got some wonderful little tidbits from Gandhi's wisdom. So I just pulled this stuff out of Gandhi's work. And the first one, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. We are already changing the world by our existence. It's just, we're all on this planet, and each of us individually is here with our journey. And when we extend love, when we're of sacred service, when we make the planet a little better, the animals' lives a little better, our neighbor's life a little better, we are shaking the world towards a higher level of consciousness. The second one is, where there is love, there is life. Love grows things. If you've ever had a pet, you know that love is what grows that relationship. How long are you going to hold on to your pet if you hate them? In the door, out the door. And in our life, where we share love of nature, or love of art, love of creativity, love of good food, there's life. It infuses us with inspiration and vitality and wholeness. So love is a good one to go with. Third one is, forgiveness is the attitude of the strong. When Master Teacher Jesus asked, how many times shall we forgive? 70 times 7. That I translate to be, just keep doing it. There's no stopping point. Just keep doing it. And it takes strength to forgive ourselves. It takes strength to forgive others. It's courageous. If we're tired, worn out, weak, spent, and done with it, we don't have energy to forgive. So it's ours to take care of our temple, eat well, exercise, connect with others, and forgive. And the last one is, be the change you wish to see in the world. If I'm peaceful and I'm in the world, there's peace in the world. I'm changing the world. And I actively do that where I am. HEB, I-35, at home. And it makes a difference if we're peaceful at home. If we're all riled up and out of balance, everyone else is going to be riled up and out of balance. It's interesting how when we exemplify peace, love, and understanding, that gets mirrored back to us by everyone that we meet. I have the absolute belief that everyone in New Braunfels is nice. And that's what I experience. Everywhere I go. This entire city has the aloha spirit, and they don't even know it. It's beautiful. And where does that come from? That comes from me believing I'm always nice here. And then I expect you to be the same. So the journey of peace and nonviolence begins in our heart. So join me by choosing peace.